What's up, YouTube? Now, typically when I have these super heavy projects that are like super important, either they're like super difficult or like they're just high stress because of like the type of customer that I'm working with. Don't get me wrong, every customer is super important and I never try and mess it up. You know, when I'm working with, heads of organizations, even sometimes like social media influencers, like the pressure is just on a little bit more. It's just one of those things of having the extra set of eyes on you just makes it even more stressful, even though it's already a stressful job. So I'm sure probably as you've seen by the title, you know who this stuff is for. Miss Rodeo USA, Jessie Lynn. So Jessie's actually a pretty unique case. I've done quite a bit of work for rodeo queens, Miss Rodeo USA, Miss Rodeo California, New York, Nevada, a ton of different ones. But Jessie Lynn, this is like a very interesting case where she's actually like a customer before like she even competed. So that was really interesting and unique, where it was funny. I was like actually wrapping up some projects for her and she was talking about doing her pageants and whatever, and I was like, yeah, I deal with so many pageant people. Like, I didn't ask, I didn't go, oh hey, like normally I'm like pretty inquisitive and like, hey, like what pageant are you going for or whatever, but it was just the time and the place. I was just trying to like take the order, make sure I had it right, and I wasn't like jumble up my head with a bunch of like extra information. So most time I hear people talking about pageants, I just get curious and want to know. The one time this customer who I've already had as a customer is like randomly going for a pageant, I was like, okay, cool, whatever. She just kind of subtly like dropped it. Like she made such a little deal out of it that I was like, okay, cool. Like she obviously doesn't want to talk about it a bunch or whatever. I do a couple orders for her, whatever, and then she contacts me one day and she's like, hey, yeah, so I want to get something made. Like, I have to carry around this, this journal for the pageant that I won. Like, so like, I want to get something cool so I can carry it around all year. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah. Like I didn't even ask her then, which was crazy. So she messaged me, and then Miss Rodeo USA pageant kind of like was happening all around that same time. And I had another friend, Abigail Benz. She's super rad girl. She was talking to me about the results of the pageant, this, that, and the other. So I was like, damn, you got robbed. Like, screw whoever won. Like, you got robbed, Abby. And then, because we got to represent the squad. All the customers, all the queens. If my customers and my squad isn't winning, then it's like, yo, you got robbed. So then out of curiosity, I was like, who's this person who won? Like, they got nothing on Abby Benz. And then come to find out, it's Jessie Lynn. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, Abby, you didn't get robbed. Like, it's the squad, like the two horses I feel like I had in the race were duking it out for first and second place. And it was really cool and like just an honor, because not every leather crafter gets to work with like these super influential rodeo queens, or some people struggle with with taking their leather business off. And like for me, being the like edgy alternative kind of like not your regular leather crafter, it's just surreal to see these queens like take to what I do, because it is so different. It's not traditional, and maybe they take to it because they see how unique it is. I don't really know, but it's really nice and it's really rewarding. But anyways, I decided to throw the old camera up and film a little bit of what I was doing and what I was making for Jessie Lynn. We got this really radical 3-ring binder that she can carry around, scrapbook stuff. Her platform was Be a Dream Catcher, so like all the stuff I've made her has like a dream catcher on it, and obviously the USA, so I incorporated the flag and whatnot. But I decided to go with like the feathers instead of like flowers, just because they kind of tie all in with the dream catcher theme we have going. And then I also made her a belt which matches the portfolio we got. Floral with feathers, and going off that theme, we have some dream catchers in there. They're kind of hard to see from a distance, but we have basically dream catchers capping off her title, flowing out with those feathers. And then this belt, I'm not gonna lie, Jessie Lynn threw me a crazy curveball, and I can't describe enough how happy I am with the curveball she threw me. She's representing the state of Alabama, so we threw a little Alabama on here. She's also a huge music person, so with that, I was trying to think, how do we incorporate Alabama in music? And she was like, why don't we put like Sweet Home Alabama? And I was like, the words? And she was like, no, the music notes. So the music notes across this belt are literally the main riff from Sweet Home Alabama. Like literally the don't down 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 down. So it's super sick. We added the outline of the Alabama. We threw some cotton, some other like southern imagery. Going with the solid white belt was pretty bold. It's not something that I do all the time, but I figure, hey, why don't we go crazy out of the box? So I really channeled some inner like rhinestone cowboy kind of influences that were just super out of the box. Yeah, this whole thing was a blast. I'm really grateful to work with, crazy kick-ass people. Like I said, like every customer is super important, and I'm super grateful to work with everybody that I do. There's something about people who've been in either the horse industry or the rodeo history or like just different parts of the Western industry for a really long time. I've worked with like international finals rodeo, like world champions, stuff like that. So to get like validation and praise from people like that who dedicate their whole life to this definitely means a lot. I definitely dedicate my life to this. This is my life, and I've been at it for quite some time now. I grew up in a saddle repair shop as a teenager, so I've got, I'm 27 years old, and 10 of those years were pretty much spent working doing this. I've had other jobs when I was younger, but for the most part, my life is doing leather work, so it means a lot to me. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't remember exactly everything I recorded for this video. Alright, so as I'm editing this video, I'm realizing the footage I have of all the work that I did is not very good, so I'm just gonna leave this video as like a fun little story time. If you are interested in seeing some work I've done for Jessie Lynn, I have a couple of videos coming up shortly where I make her some other cool stuff, and I'll actually have a good chunk of work and footage of the process. But for now, here's like 40 seconds of time-lapse footage. Again, I'm super grateful for the opportunities that I have. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. It's been your boy, Brian Sosak with the Man in Black Leather Studio. You can catch me on all my other social medias. I have a lot of people asking what my Instagram and how to get a hold of me. All that stuff is in the description below. Instagram, Facebook, my website, all that good stuff. Feel free to check me out. If you're interested in work, hit me up. However you can get a hold of me that's not YouTube comments, I would be glad to make something for you guys. Whatever you want to do, I'm always for it. Feel free to browse my work, check out what I could do, pretty much do it all. But other than that, I think that's enough of my own commercial and just patting myself on the back here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off.